So here's the short and fast intro. I'm Brian.
I'm Julie, and we have a story to tell you. In 2023, we reduced our stuff, sold the house, and moved into a sardine can.
Bye, house.
It was the start of a new long-term goal for us, daring to live a bit differently. But how did we get here, and why the sardine can? In 2018, we attended Overland Expo East because we knew Expo would allow us to put our hands on gear before committing to major purchases. Expo East that year turned out to be a major mudfest, but it didn't matter. We were already hooked on this hobby and all the possibilities. We actually left Expo with a totally different plan than what we started with, because that's where we discovered the sardine can, more properly known as the Expedition model from Off-Grid Trailers. We decided to scrap our original plan and work towards buying our own teardrop someday. Fast forward 3 years. We put our kid through college and proudly watched them become an independent adult. During that time, we kept researching the market and following tons of overlanding hobbyists on social media, always keeping our eye on the end goal and checking in with each other to make sure it was something we still wanted to pursue. Then I totaled our beloved Civic, and we replaced it with our much-anticipated Tacoma.
Here it is. Woohoo!
The timing finally felt right to purchase the teardrop, so we started the order process and patiently waited during COVID delays and material shortages. 6 months later, we took delivery of our very own sardine can and went out for some micro adventures. In 2022, we booked our tickets for Overland Expo East with excitement to be camping with other people who have the same brand of teardrop. We had an absolute blast, felt like the wait was worth it, and left super inspired.
And you know what else we left with? Another idea for a totally different plan.
This time at Expo, we met Michael Ladden from Drive the Globe, and we learned that it's possible to convert an old military vehicle into a badass tiny home on wheels. But that was so far from the realm of what we were thinking of doing with our lives at that time, so we chalked it up to being a really cool discovery and a new person to follow online. We continued with our regular plans of using the teardrop to travel and see more of the country. After owning the teardrop for a year and taking weekend warrior types of trips, we realized we're never going to see as much as we want if we continue to take short trips close to Kentucky and maybe one big trip a year if we're lucky to somewhere further out. So Brian pitched the idea, maybe we could look into living on the road full time. We dove into lots of questions about what it would take to get us there, what was possible for our lives, and kept ourselves open to whatever answers we found. We decided to take the resources available to us, sell as much of it as possible, and use the profits to advance us to the next part of our lives. So now we're in the process of creating our very own badass tiny home on wheels through a company called Trax Off-Grid in Louisville, Kentucky. We had planned to look for gig work and chase fair weather around the states while we wait for our rig to finish. The end of 2023 allowed us to do that, and our first video series is all about that eventful experience. But 24 and 25 have been almost exclusively in Kentucky because life has a way of putting you exactly where you need to be, even if it's not where you intended to be. So truthfully, we've mostly been mooch docking with family and friends while waiting for the rig to start being built, with an occasional short trip or week-long stay in the teardrop. This was not the plan, but we're learning to roll with it, and we are so grateful for the support of our family and friends in this time of limbo.
Something else you need to know is that my grandparents traveled to all of the states and captured their experiences. We have their maps, postcards, tourist brochures, thousands of photos on 35mm slides, and several hours of video footage interviewing my grandma Rosalind about these trips.
Woo-wee. Got a bunch of memories, haven't I?
Once we take off in the big rig, we want to travel to the same places, recreate as many of their photos as possible, and capture our experiences, like they did. We would love it if you'd follow along. We want to show you a life that's possible outside of the norm. We want to show you places that maybe you've never seen. You'll see the slow times and struggles too, so you don't get the idea that it's always puppies and rainbows around here.
We're just a couple of people who want to go, eat, see, and do what we can until we no longer can. So our channel name represents that. First you have to go, and at some point you have to eat.
We love to cook, so you can expect us to share recipes and other food we find along the way.
Then we like to get out and see what we can, usually for free, like a hike around camp or a scenic drive.
Or the top of an epic rock climbing route.
Yeah, but we also like to do things like wander through a cityscape or attend a gathering or an expo. Ultimately, we want to collect experiences and human connections instead of maybe quite so many possessions.
We want to explore as much of this world as possible. It will take us a while to tell this story. We don't want to burn out of the road life before we've had a chance to recreate Rosie's road trip.
Plus, the big rig will be slow. I will not promise you that we are going to drop a video every single week at the perfect time to feed the algorithm. That's not the pace that we will be living. But I will promise to give you content that continues the story. My grandparents gave us a travel structure to start with. Now we're asking you to follow along.
Coming up first is our series called The Start and the Wait. It was our first major trek as nomads. Things didn't really go according to plan, but do they ever?
Isn't that part of the beauty of an unconventional life? Our second series will be all about the build process for our big rig, and I'm thrilled to let you know that as of recording this today, the time has finally come for our spot in the queue, and we cannot wait to see how this thing takes shape. I'm also looking forward to telling stories from previous trips where I had captured footage that hasn't been edited.
All of that to say, we have lots to share and we are just getting started.
Please subscribe to our channel and interact with our videos. We'd actually like to hear from you. And if you want to keep the adventure going even more, please consider the virtual tip jar on our website, goeatseadude.com. Okay, that's it. Thanks for following.
We'll see you around.